Hi guys. Welcome again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Guess who we have here? Our own one and only great leader, Dr. Bill Williams. Dr. Bill, you are welcome and thank you for joining us again.
Hey, I'm glad to be back with you, Comfort. It's always a pleasure to be with my UK buddies.
Yeah, same here. We're always blessed having you here all the time. So, yeah, it's been a while. Like you say, you're glad to be back. Of course, it's been quite a while. And like we all are seeing, a lot is happening now. We've gone way too far. We're proud and bolder to tell the world that we are the giant because of where we are now. So, do you just have a comment on the general growth of Onpassive and exactly where we are now?
Well, we are in a new phase, and we've been watching the growth of Onpassive occur. We've gone professional. We've gone to a new height with the breakout in Dubai. I call it the breakout because
Yes.
we went from being a group of entrepreneurs spread around the world, and it seemed like we didn't have a headliner until we met all the friends who have been working behind the scenes in Dubai. And so
Right.
now that they're working strong in Dubai and they're leading the way corporately, we
Mm-hmm.
get to sit back and watch them work. And that's kind of a joy. It's the new way for the
Right.
ambassador, the brand ambassadors, to sit back and enjoy the ride. And we get called to work every now and then, but basically we did 3.5 years of hard work to get to where we got to, and now we're watching the corporates do the heavy lifting.
Right, exactly. So before we go into a bit more about the progress, and since a lot is happening, I was really fascinated. I know I read a lot on your platform. You write great articles and so on, and I was really like, oh, I think I like this one. Go green. With all the stages from comfort zone to the fear zone to the all of those right to getting green, one thing I was laughing, Dr. Bill, because comfort sounds like a good word, and I'm happy that my name is Comfort. But knowing that being in a comfort zone is not the very best thing to happen. So I know you've already talked about these very stages, but if you could just comment a bit on the green, this green zone, how to get there, and especially you say the best way to go there is taking action, change of mindset, and all of those, and doing it the unpassive way. Could you just comment on that again? Because at least this helps. Many people are just stuck in one of these zones, either transiting from comfort to fear or from fear to yellow or and so on. So go.
Well, you think about it, you could talk about comfort zone, fear zone, learning zone, growth zone in many contexts. And so we could put that into the context of on passive, which we are in this case, and look at the ambassador group as a whole. And you can look at the people in the real world who are stuck in one place doing their thing. And if they've heard our message and did not join us, that means they're probably in their comfort zone.
All
They're
right.
happy with where they are. They don't want anything better. They don't want to go into something they don't understand. And they may feel safe and in control, but they're not going to have opportunity like we know. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's where we find the masses. Now,
All
all
right.
of us probably came out, some of us, and I know the people who haven't been very active have actually come out of the comfort zone, put their toe in the water about on passive, and then went back into their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so they didn't do anything. Those are the people who are sitting around waiting to join and log in to the OES. They're just too comfortable.
All right.
Okay. The fear zone is for people who really are needing something, they want something more, but they don't have the internal fortitude to fight through the fear. So they're, as we see, they're affected by other people's opinions. They find excuses why it won't work. They
Mm-hmm.
always want somebody else to do the work for them. They always call up leaders and say, I can't do it. Can you get me in? And so they continually look for other people to get them to the next level.
All
And
right.
it's really because they lack self-confidence and and don't dig through and find the answers themselves. And so that's a lot of people. There's a lot of people sitting in that fear zone that they're not going to make it to the end because they can't log in. They can't find a group to join. You know, they never got anybody to join their team, or they only got one, and they feel like they're not going to be successful. So that fear zone means that they didn't make the effort, or they didn't put in the learning they needed, because the learning zone is really where things begin to show fruit. You might be baby fruit on the vine, but it's got to be in the learning zone where you actually deal with the challenges and the problems, where you actually acquire the new skills, and you actually extend your comfort zone to feel comfortable while you're learning and growing and developing. And so there's a lot of people who are in that learning zone, and I call those the great followers. When you move from fear zone to learning zone, you're a follower. You're a great follower instead of a laggard, a complainer, a sit on the fence person. And finally, the growth zone is basically those people who are leaders, who have stated that they have goals, they have dreams, they have a purpose, and that they either state it or write it down, and then they start to do something about it. They take action. They conquer their objectives one by one. And we've been led by hundreds of leaders who have achieved the green zone mentally, and that they take physical action toward setting priorities. So you have to set priorities related to your goals to get results. And so we have a lot of leaders. We have a lot more followers. Unfortunately, we have a few in the fear zone who are just kind of sitting around waiting for somebody else to do the work. And then the majority of our planets either never heard about us or feel safe and sound, and they're not doing anything. So they're in their comfort zone. So that's kind of a run through of how I see Onpassive and how we can relate to the ambassador level people.
Yeah, I think Dr. Bill, I really saw. Okay, you were you still saying something? Okay, because I saw the need for this to be discussed. Because I really had to look at it over and over, because some people really found comfort in Mr. Mufareh's mantra, "It's all done for you." They thought that they just need to go to sleep. They did not, they were stuck between comfort and fear because they did not want to step out into the yellow zone just to learn a bit of something, forgetting that it's their new life. You need to learn it, get a hang of it so that you live it, because that's how you're going to live from now henceforth. So I hope that I'm really getting it right, because people need to get this right to know they need to move to the next stage. Yeah.
Exactly. Ash told us that this is done for you if you set it up to run, and you have to follow through the setup. So you have to learn a few things of how to set it up. Right. And if you fail to set it up, then you have a chance of losing everything. Now, done for you doesn't mean done for you is finished when you pay $97. It's done for you when you register properly. It's done for you when you set up your first payment for your product, and it's done for you when you get your URL set up for your own website that's going to draw new business into your Onpassive account. So done for you means when you learn what you need to do to be in the growth zone from that point.
Wow. Yeah, I know you went further to say that there are lots of green pastures in which a focused entrepreneur can prosper. And you mentioned a lot of products, including ONET, OMail, OTrim, and of course the almighty OConnect. So you actually made it understood that founders, customers, and affiliates, resellers are all going to win, and win big. So I was wondering, or like many people would be wondering, how would people win from consuming or being users of the free product? How does winning result from using the free products and sharing them and stuff, from your own perspective?
Well, each one of these products is going to be launched in its entirety very soon. We've got the beta versions out right now of several, and the new versions coming out any day now. And when we start to move these into the public sphere for them to use, each one is going to carry, for any customer or any reseller or any founder, is going to carry a referral code. And that referral code would allow people to share free, and we become a viral network. And that viral network has value. And everything tracks back to where it came from as far as when you share. And so that's an important part of our growth strategy, is to share the opportunity to use everything that's free, and further on to share everything that is a paid product also. And those who become resellers can actually get income from those sharings when people purchase. So no matter whether you're sharing the free version or a paid version, you're building up credit, you're building up capital, human capital, digital capital, you're building it up, and eventually it's going to change from just a number of people using free products to actual dollars in your wallet as time goes on, as people purchase the products that are more advanced. So I think
Right.
we really are fortunate that we have the opportunity as founders to be the first ones to recommend. Power is being first in this case.
I know, Dr. Bill, we're really the first ones. We're fortunate. We're just blessed to be the first ones to recommend, which goes back to the diagram behind you, because somebody needs to step up now, move to the yellow zone, learn really fast, because if you don't move and you're stuck here, people are going, right? And you are there because it's just because we're learning that we now know how much value that these free products come with. Just with the click of the finger, you get your social capital, you get all of those people, you have all of those stuff. And the good news is, if they come, we know how it's all going to work. The marketing team too, they're there watching whoever clicks on our stuff, sign off, they work on it, and that's how we grow. So we see how the process is. It's a must do. Everybody needs to stand up and do something. Is that right?
Yeah, the most valuable thing about what we have here is that there's so many niches that we can approach people, because we have so many products that we know are coming, and we have the ones that we already have designed and put in our sphere, the O-mail, the O-net, and the O-trim. We know what's coming, and so we can design our marketing to share with people their specific interest. And when we can share O-staff or HR development, when we can share O-domain for those website builders, and O-media from advertising, we have such an advantage, because there's no place on earth that we can't market, and there's no genre of business that we can't touch. If people need marketing, we've got the answer. If they need communication, we've got the answer. If they need something to educate, well, O Academy will be the number one education product. As soon as it's rolled out, people will start clamoring to get their products. I've been teaching people in the last 2 months. I've been teaching a website and a podcast called the Influencers Podcast. And a lot of people wonder, what am I doing with that? Well, it's a strategy that I'll share with you. I'm talking to people in other businesses, other careers, who are influencers. And I'm seeding right now the concept that we can all network together to help each other. And so it's altruistic in that we want to share our network with their network. And so the idea is we want to have more people being able to pay attention to what we're doing, even though we're not trying to sell them anything right now. We're not trying to get them to look at Onpassive yet. But by building relationships first, which is what we should be doing, is building relationships during this period of time. We've moved from gathering the stones to put in our own basket, because of founderships are not available now. So we don't need to be finding more founders. what we need to do is starting to build relationships with people so that when it's time to share that link, then we can share links with friends instead of links with strangers. And
Yes.
so take a hint, from me and others that are leaders right now. Try to expand your network to become in relationship with people and not try to really sell them anything, but to understand what their needs are and what their desires are, so that when you understand that, you'll have a solution, because we're the company of solutions.
Yep. Woo. Yes, that's just powerful, Dr. Bill. There was really need for this because I think I called on people to come and just get some wisdom. We've already learned a lot of our products, but this part of it, what you are saying, is just totally something very unique. Everybody needs to know, guys. I hope that you're listening. I hope that you're looking behind Dr. Bill. I hope that you go back and read this article, put everything together and get something doing and move from whatever zone you are in now, because you are not supposed to be there. There's just everything. We're a company of solutions, and we will not give our solutions to people from outside when we ourselves are not, making the maximum use of it, right? So I think it's very interesting because, Dr. Bill, I think what I'm getting all from everything you are explaining here, that everybody, hopefully you get, like, you understand like me, is that most founders who thought that, okay, the comfort zone is not for me, I'm already in the green, because going through that, that is already covered, because after all, the CEO and his team are doing everything for me. But listening to Dr. Bill Williams, you see that what is all done for you is providing the solution, but you've still got stuff to do, and this is your new life. Dr. Bill Williams, I think I'm talking a bit too much because I'm excited. I'm learning a lot. I hope many people are learning too, like me. So I really appreciate this. Yeah. So
Hey, let's reframe. Everybody who's a founder needs to get to the growth zone, meaning that they've set up their OES properly. And we'll be having instructions on how to set each part up as has it ready. Like, we don't have the wallet yet, we don't have the domains yet, and so those are not instructions that we've been given yet. But we need to be ready to do that. And a lot of people are sleeping and haven't even set up their OMail. They're not in the OES properly. And so they're still in the fear zone. Maybe they've entered the learning zone, but they haven't completed learning what they need to be in the growth zone. So that's the minimum you need to have, is to have set up properly. Now, I'm often talking to people out there who are movers and shakers who want to build the Onpassive business. And for those of you who are those kind of people, you can be proactive. 2 years ago, I wrote something, the 10-day prescription for success. And it talked about what you can do in 10 days to expand your base, your founder base. And you can do exactly the same thing now, but instead of expanding founder base, you're expanding customer base. And it all starts with gathering friends who listen to you. And so if people will listen to what you're saying, and it's not about Onpassive at this point, it's about who you are, what you do, what you're interested in, and then what they're interested in. You need to listen to people talk about what they're interested in. And then when they have a solution they need, you can offer it to them. That's really key.
Dr. Bill, I think
And
I believe
Gladys. I saw Gladys saying hello from Kenya.
I know, yeah. Dr. Bill, I think I believe what you are saying, because what is happening nowadays, some people feel that they can't do anything because they think that everybody needs to talk, because Komfor is talking, Dr. Bill is talking, and Auntie Lynn is talking. No, some people are just good at writing. We have Peter Rogers here in the UK. Nobody knows him, his face, but he does a lot in the background. So if you can just say, I will share, when I see somebody do a good video or a good post, like your writings, Dr. Bill Williams, somebody should share. Somebody will come after them. That what was that thing that you share? They will use that opportunity to create the relationship you are recommending for us to create now. Am I getting it all right, Dr. Bill?
Yeah, everybody has a skill. Everybody has a desire to communicate. And you find people speak well. You find people that write well. You find people that actually design and draw well.
Yep.
And so if you could do all of those, you're doing better. But if you're doing one of those, you're doing great.
Yeah.
And the idea is everybody's skill can be used. And, I took a year off almost from doing simple YouTubes that I put up. And I basically did post and writing for a year. And so everybody has a different thing.
Yep.
Sometimes I feel like it's already been said and I don't want to repeat something that's already been said. And so I'll go off in a different direction and write post and blog post for a while. And then I'll come back and do videos that are a different format. And I think that's good that people experiment with new ways to market, because it's through the experimentation process that we grow and we become better at getting the word across, because everything you say is not going to resonate with every person.
Right. Right. One thing I must say, Dr. Bill, your articles are just wonderful. You know what? You read and read. I read that time. I read over and over and over, because each time I go through, I get one new thing, and then I go back again and again. Very insightful. So, guys, if you don't know Dr. Bill Williams, just check his Facebook page. Just type Dr. Bill Williams on Facebook, and you will see him. Just go through his page, and you will see a lot of readables that you are just like, wow, wow, wow. So there's a lot of stuff there. Doc, there's this article you wrote, I think sometime in July last year, which you titled the Great Reset. I would like us to actually discuss that a bit, because you said a lot of sweet stuff in there. One of the things you said, like in your words, I'm quoting, you say, "We have come to bury the old economic system, not to champion it as praiseworthy. No, we are championing a new form of egalitarian capitalism where everyone can win and there is joy spread in all directions." So what did you mean by that? People just need to get this. This is that season. If you don't want to go and watch other things, sit here now and learn from Dr. Bill. But at the end of this session, I think you'll go home with something. So Dr. Bill, can you go on that a bit, please?
Well, ASH has leveled the playing field for so many. A lot of people have an advantage because they've got a higher education. They were born in a country that's maybe more opportunity available. They were born to a family that's been doing well, so they can learn how to do well more easily. So a lot of the advantages that people have had are leveled by what ASH has given us. ASH has given everybody the chance to grow and have an income equivalent to any corporate executive, as we have never seen before. It's always been the dream to live off of residual income. It's always been the dream to work once and get paid forever, but it's very hard to do. And that dream has always, for the most part, failed everybody's attempt to create it. And so as I'm talking about the Great Reset, I'm absolutely not talking about the World Economic Forum. I'm not talking about the green environmental movement. I don't believe those things are noteworthy. I firmly believe that the Great Reset that we're talking about is the economic freedom that can come from what ASH has presented to us as a system that once you join it and you work with it in a minimum way, it'll take care of you for life. And so we're here to prove that out. We're here to see it start imminently soon. And we want to be the founders who prove ASH is correct. That's one of our chief goals, is to show that to the world that ASH is correct in his prediction that everybody's going to have a reset and that they have a chance to become independently self-sufficient, if not wealthy. The people who don't do anything and just do the minimum will probably be self-sufficient. Those who work hard and do something extra may become wealthy. And so that's the goal that we all have, so that as we have enough to live on, sustain, then we can have enough to give away and support those around us. And that's been Bless's primary goal for the whole time we've been in Onpassive is to earn income beyond our needs.
Mhm. You know, one thing I really appreciate is that the fact that, you know, when you say Ash has made it level for everybody, I can really relate to that personally, because, and I look at it from various angles. You know, just first of all, ignore we join business to make money. That's already a done deal. We don't discuss that on Passive because it's done, right? Come back to
Right.
other stuff, just the connections. You know, the very first interview I had with you, I was like, oh my God, I was really shivering. I think it's much better today. Today, I'm not like that day because I have grown. I've learned a lot from, you know, people like you, very humble and so down to earth. You make it so easy for everybody. You just feel comfortable where you thought you would never be. That is a great asset. That's value. That's the value that Mr. Mufareh has provided to us. You know, the knowledge that you leaders have imparted into us before we go back now to what exactly we joined this business for. The apples available for all if they want to. If you want to move from comfort to fear to learning and get green, what else can one ever be thankful for? I think it's a wonderful opportunity, Dr. Bill. I hope I'm getting you really right there. But
I think
yeah,
you got it right on. You know, when you were talking about everybody and their opportunity and how leaders are rising up, I had a thought about my patients. You know, I've been treating dental patients for 45 years, 46 years. And the secret to my success in my practice was I treated everybody the same. I treated everybody as worthy, and I never judged anybody, and I always gave everybody the opportunity to have the very best health. And it was up to them to decide what they wanted, but I would always tell them the truth, and I would always offer them the best. And so everybody wants the best, I felt. And that's kind of the way we are in Onpassive, is that we treat everybody the same.
right.
We give everybody the same opportunity, and they choose what they want to do. They choose the level they want to play at. And it's the formula for success that I found, and I was much more successful than your average dentist. And I think Ash has a genius in his marketing to bring in the ambassadors like he has. Lynn Nakamoto was just mentioning that the
Right.
marketing lets us have choice, and because we have choice, we can rise to the level. And that's egalitarian, you know,
Yeah.
equal opportunity, not equal outcome.
I know.
Everybody should
Yeah.
have the to be who they want to be in this business.
Exactly. Because it feels really good. You feel at home. You feel safe with everybody surrounding you. And of course, why would you not grow? So it's such a wonderful opportunity that we would never take. Nobody can ever take it for granted, except that you are not really into it. So I think it's everything is just working well.
There's Mario, and
Yeah.
there's everybody's joining in today. Hey, you got a good crowd joining.
I know. I was just smiling. I see Mario is here. Mario, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hi, guys. There are people who are always here. Every minute they're here. Auntie Lynn is one. Sister Fumi, we talk here all the time, but we had to clear the space and let Dr. Bill Williams sit here today by himself, just two of us. That's luxury for me. So thank you guys for joining, and they're making very wonderful contributions. So this team, this platform, Dr. Bill, just after you left, it's developed, it's grown into a whole family. Because each time I'm here, I am not you and myself. We're a whole family. They're contributing on the chat section and putting everything together. Even those who don't know about Onpassive, when they go through this, they don't leave empty. So it's a great family here.
Hey, let's put a little fear into the hearts of many. You want to put
Yeah.
some fear in there? If we put fear in, it means they're going to have to be pushed into the learning zone and the growth zone real quick.
Right.
I understand that Ash put out a word yesterday on 360 or something that was pertinent. If you don't get into the OES and get that thing logged in from the old founders very soon, you may be locked out and not be able to.
Yes.
So I think we should we should announce it at every turn. Every time we have a webinar this week, we should announce the fact that if you don't move forward and get these things sorted out on your own, then you may be left behind. And there is a cutoff point, according to what I read. And so it's time to stop sitting on the fence and waiting for somebody else to do the work.
I know. I'm just happy. Thank you for bringing this up, Dr. Bill, because before you came up, Collins and myself were discussing, and Collins said I should make sure I bring this up so that we discuss it. But for some reason, I was so interested in my green and comforts and stuff. But then I really appreciate that you brought it up, guys. We all have to stand up now, move from that zone and move over to the next. Go get something done, because tomorrow you may have yourself to blame. And I believe that Mr. Ash Mufareh and his team have been patient enough with us. They have given us many chances to do something. They make it simple, easier and easier all the time. Everything possible has been done. So I feel that we don't have much time again, do we, Dr. Bill? So to move on, we don't have much time again to wait. Yeah.
The scary part is that there's about 10 to 20%, by my calculation, of people who are not listening, so they're not moving forward. They don't pay attention to the warning sign, and they've been warned many times, but the problem is they're on an email that they don't look at. And they can't connect to us without looking at their own emails. It's a sad situation, and I'm just as guilty as anybody else out there of having people that I can't reach. Not that I haven't sent them about 200 emails. Over the last 4 years, actually 3 years I've been in, I've sent over 200 or 300 emails to my group. And so some of them are tired of hearing from me. But some who've never read the first email after they joined. So what can you do?
You can only take a horse to the stream. Unfortunately, we can't force it to drink, right? Because
that's it.
Much has been done, way too much. Because for the past 8 to 9 weeks, leaders have been working around the clock, just helping, making themselves available. Come, we want to help. We're happy to help. There are times we hold sessions and we help just 3 people because we need to spend as much time as we can to help you migrate. What else? So maybe that's the comfort zone we need to destroy and push them to the fear so that they finally, I don't know, but something needs to be done.
If they're so comfortable that they don't need to listen, then they're probably not founder material. And that's kind of what Ash has been saying. You may not actually be qualified to be a founder if you don't pay attention. Yep.
And Ash has been talking about this. What they want is quality and not quantity. So if you are a founder that you cannot add quality to a business that is yours, or add value to a business that is yours, and you don't even find the value in it to have a share of it, then maybe it was a mistake. So choice is yours, whether to be part of it or not. So we are moving on anyway. So, Dr. B, let's have a quick look at this. The record-breaking takeover of Dubai, as you call it, is something that does not happen like every day, every now and then. It doesn't happen to anyone. They don't give this chance to anybody or any company. So tell us what in particular, how do you feel about, this takeover? You actually call it a record-breaking takeover, the Dubai, where we are now, the train station, all of what is happening. How do you personally feel about it right now?
Well, going to Dubai was a genius move by Ash because of its central location in the IT hub of the new development in that part of the world. And it's rapidly becoming one of the centers in the whole, the whole world, not just in that region. So it was genius to start building into that area. And so we thought, the Burj Khalifa was pretty cool. And we thought all the marketing around the malls was pretty cool. But, it kept going, and Doha is just down the street. So you can almost count Doha, and broadcasting the games is almost an extension of Dubai, really. And you look at Ash is from that area of the world originally, right? So he really understands it, and he has connections there. So he not only took over real estate, he not only took over broadcast over the airways, he took over the leadership, the human capital in that area, and he amassed a team that much of his leadership team was based in Dubai, or he brought them to Dubai if they were not already there. And then he goes out to Internet City, planning a big facility there. And then he goes and gets the metro station. I mean, this is like a military campaign, and he's taken over strategic areas, real estate, leadership, transportation, communication. What more can he take over? You know, is he going to build a navy off the coast? I mean, what is that going to do? Well, he is probably going to have a mobile, what do you call it? The mobile IT hub where you have all the servers. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. I don't know how it's called. Oh yeah.
Everybody knows. I'm talking about those data centers. That's what it is, data centers.
Oh yeah.
Maybe data center will be on a ship and it'll pull up outside Dubai. Who knows? Maybe he'll have something that's coming through that area that's in Saudi Arabia on that long 100-mile city. So he's got a lot of ideas and things going on in that area, and it's a complete takeover. He's done something marketing wise that nobody's ever done, and it's been in several layers, like stacking the cool. I love that ice cream cone diagram I saw this week, where you've got stacking the cool, and there's multi ice cream cones stacked on top of each other. So hey,
yeah, I saw that too. And there's something Jeffrey came here. He's like stacking the cool. We stack the cool. We stabilize, and then we stack the cool, and then and stuff. And then when that the ice cream cones came, I was like, yeah, that's it. So
and there's different flavors for different people. So you get O net, O trim, O male, and in America anyway, we have Baskin Robbins with 31 flavors or something, or Howard Johnson's had 31 flavors. And so that's just kind of doing that in our marketing, giving us flavors so we can have something to appeal to each audience. And that's one thing I'm looking for when I'm doing my interviews on the Influencer podcast. I'm looking for an audience that wants a certain thing. And when they want it, I'm cataloging it in my mind and going, okay, when it gets time to launch, I'm going to offer it to these people. If they need to communicate, they're going to get O Connect. If they need, some kind of marketing with the websites, they're going to get O Domain and O Media and O this and O that. So we're going to go all the way with opportunity for everybody.
Right. Yeah, thank you. I'm just reading, as you are talking, people are still trying to remind others to give a word of advice, everybody to check and be sure that they are logged into the back office, because they are not sure what will happen next. So this is a good advice, guys. Take it, just go ahead and check and be sure that you are logged in, because we are not in control of anything that happens after this. So guys, Dr. Bill, the last time, I think I would like you to comment on this too, because I find it really important. Last time, Dr. Soha said, we are centralizing our corporate message, process to include everyone and ensure we are speaking to everyone, not just to the founders. So like yesterday, we were trying to interpreting that we should know, like, people need to grow up, like we were discussing today, and not stay on that spot, because the team, the executive team and the leaders now would have divided attention, attending to everyone. So what do you think about that? Or just add some more clarifications to this? People need to understand so that they know that finally the discussion for today was worth it?
Well, I would use the analogy that I would do in my dental practice. When I'm teaching, and I'm teaching dentists how to be better, I'm using one language and I'm using one set of analogies, and it's limited to who I'm talking to. So that'd be like us talking to founders. But if I want to grow my business, I will talk to patients, potential patients, the public at large, and I will put on what's called a public seminar rather than a technical seminar of how to do implants. I will talk about the benefits of implants rather than the features of implants. See, a dentist needs to know the features and the how-to, whereas a patient needs to know, why should I choose you? Why should I choose this program, this product, this platform? So the changing of the message is, what's the benefit to the end user? And the end user for our Onpassive is definitely solution-based. When the solutions are offered for their problems, they listen. People don't buy widgets, they buy solutions to their problems.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much. I think it's sinking deep down. Anybody, guys, I'm just, let's see, if do you have any questions? Do you appreciate? Just drop in and let's know even what have you learned, because we have discussed a lot today. Just drop a comment here, either asking a question for more clarification or tell us what you are taking home today from this discussion. Apart from that, you need to share this video because this is just wisdom and you can't keep it to yourself. Moreover, guys, just look for Dr. Bill Williams on Facebook, read all of his blogs, listen to what he is saying. You are just going to be amazed because this is just a wisdom personified sitting here in front of you guys. Let's make use of what we have. It's such a blessing.
I'm making use of all my gray hair. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, Dr. Bill, I think from my own angle, I'm satisfied with everything so far. And if there is no question, I would be giving you the chance to say, maybe do you have a piece of advice or anything to say, be it to fellow brand ambassadors or to people who are watching, wanting to pop in the moment we're ready before we close the discussion?
Well, assuming that you're in the learning zone, closing in on the growth zone, you got to do that first. You got to make sure you have set your table properly. You can't eat until you set your table. You're going to be able to eat when they serve the food, but this food has not arrived on the table yet. So set your table so that you're ready when the food arrives. When the programs arrive that we be able to sell, when the programs arise that we'll be able to use, they're going to be available for everybody, and they're going to be tied to a code that gives credit to the people who refer. So be a referrer. Your number one job as a brand ambassador is to talk good about the program and share free use, share what you like about it, share everything that's important to you about it, and get other people excited enough to actually look at it. And as Ash has promised us, once people look at it, they will be magnetized to it, and they'll be attracted to the point where Onpassive will do all the work of getting them to become a customer. You know, the way we have it designed, as long as people log in to become connected, they will eventually become a customer. That ought to give you a lot of comfort, knowing comfort that it's easy. Right. It's very easy to share when you don't have to sell. And most people are fearful of selling, but this is a company that does the selling for you. And if you want to be successful, you have to become excellent at sharing the good news. And that's pretty much the word. And I'm not so focused now on teaching people what's in the products. I'm focused right now on getting in a relationship with people that don't know about Onpassive.
All right.
We've done enough talk among ourselves, and we need to break out of the habit, the mold of just talking to ourselves. We've run the gamut of what's possible to say every day on every webinar, talking to each other. We just need to be starting to talk to those outside of our sphere of influence and increase the size of the sphere of our influence to bigger and bigger groups that don't know us yet. And by that time, when a month goes by, 6 weeks goes by, and you have tripled your sphere of influence, that means you're going to triple your income too. It's just going to happen virally. Virally.
Mhm. Wow. Yes, we're just happy and blessed that we are part of this. And guys, if you want to learn because you want to grow, go for it. If you don't want it, stay where you are. We are moving on. So before we end, I actually was almost forgetting again. I don't know what's happening, but it's just coming on time. I think Dr. Bill, hopefully we see you there. We're going to be happy. We are having our official Onpassive launch here in the UK and Ireland on the 22nd of April 2022, and tickets are already being sold. People are reserving their tickets and so on. So guys, if you are in the UK, stand up now and do something, because so far the tickets that have been bought, many of them are coming. The buyers are people from the USA and some from Midlands Europe. And we are afraid you can't sit here in the UK and Ireland and wait for people to leave America and mainland to come and run this show for you. It doesn't work like that. So contact us, any of us, Red, myself, Collins, or any of us from the UK and Ireland. Contact us through Facebook or any means that you know. Ask for help. We have the links. You can click on it and do your reservations. Dr. Bill, I'm sorry I need to bring you in again. This is a massive event that we're planning. So I think you should have an idea already. What would you be, and why would you be encouraging someone to be part of this event? This would be your last. I'll not hold you again.
I encourage everybody to go. If you live in the Great Britain, the islands, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, anywhere over in that region, you need to be there to support and to learn and have a great time. It's such a good time being with our fellow founders. And we had a great meeting in Atlanta of about 75 to 100 people. And I know that the one that's going to be held in the UK is going to be even bigger. So, we used to say here in America, the British are coming. The British are coming. And you guys are probably saying the Americans and the Continentals are coming. I don't want to see more Americans and more Continentals at the British meeting than the British folks. So you guys got to step up if you're in Britain and go to those sessions that Red and all the guys are putting together. Komfor, you guys need local support, and I know that they're going to really be there for you.
Yes, sure. We do really need them, and we're calling on everyone to show up. So, Yasmin, no, Santina, you've asked a few questions. If you can, please attend the Heroes webinar on Saturday. This is where we can conveniently discuss such. So I think let's just digest what Dr. Bill has provided us with this evening. But these kind of questions, we are very happy to answer them on Sunday during the Heroes webinars. We have started the Heroes private webinars. So if you come there, you are still facing problems migrating, or you have such problems like the one Sentina is asking and stuff, come over and we are happy to help. Angeline is here. We all are, as a team, we are just there and we will definitely help. But we can't discuss this here, unfortunately. So I really do hope that you understand and bear with us. This is not public issue. All right.
I'm feeling like the old mail is being upgraded because a lot of people are talking about it not being available.
Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe that's the upgrade process. And right now it may not be, the old one may not be useful because the new one's coming or something. So keep your patience in check and give it some time.
That's true. Just be patient and give it time, but then keep an eye. Always check, come back and check again. That's just the way to go. So thank you guys for joining. Thanks for your great contributions and interactions. And of course, Dr. Bill, it's always a pleasure and a blessing having you here. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Comfort. It's always good to be with you. You were one of the first people long ago that I did a webinar with. I remember that.
Yeah.
And between you and Lynn and uh, all the Gladys, and we've had a lot of fun together.
Right.
And it's been a real joy being part of the leadership team. And I mostly enjoyed seeing all the people come up and become leaders all around the world. It's my biggest joy that others grow and become leaders. So there's hundreds of us now that can lead a webinar. And
Right.
that's a major undertaking that's been successful in Onpassive. So congratulations, everyone who does that. We are
Thank you.
ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, sure. We're ready to rock and roll indeed. Thank you so much for all you do. And guys, thank you too. And see you again really soon, guys. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.